Hi and welcome back to another video. Let's continue with our Success Leaves Clues little mini series. This should be episode 3, I believe. And this is a particularly relevant one. It brings back a lot of memories because this was Friday, August 19th, 2016. This is the day I passed the Top Step Trader Combine. And this is the blog post I did. So let's just go through it. After 2 years and many attempts, I finally managed to pass Top Step Trader's 30K Combine. Here are some stats. I think this is particularly relevant to look at because I started from 30th of May. I started the Combine and I ended, I think it was Friday the 19th. And let's just have a quick look. August was Friday. Yeah, Friday the 19th I passed. So from 30th of May, within the last 2 days of May, June, July, and most of August. And you can see all these days here. A few are break even, so you won't be able to see them. But there are a few $300 and above days, one over $400, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just about 7 days of 300 or more, whole bunch of 200 and more days, and then even more $100 days and a few scratch days. And then you have your down days. You have 1, 2 $300 down days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 200, and then the rest are kind of in the middle. So essentially I just did a lot of grinding and then picked off 7 good days against 2 bad days, if you want to break it right down, and then had many more $200 days, $200 up days than I did $200 down days. So it's just the distribution. In the middle is just a washout, and then it's these sort of upper boundaries, both on the upside and downside. Don Miller, he talks about this. Those are the outliers. Those what made it to the downside and to the upside. And then that's the equity curve. These are the stats, so you can see for yourself. Gross loss 6,900, gross profit 8,700 odd. So a real grind, big time. You know, a lot of trades. Just 1 out of every 3 trades worked. 197 trades. Actually, it was more, but we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, 260 trades, a grind. So that's that. And then the entire combine lasted 57 days, as we said. 7 of those were decent up days, and like 2 were quite significant down days. The vast majority of these trades were taken across 4 instruments: 6A, 6B, 6C, and YM. There were just like 5 trades that were taken outside of that. I tightened up the strategy after 9 days. What else? And here's what I consider the beginning of orderly rules-based trading. And so here's the main part of this post. The hardest part of achieving this result was giving up control. I used various techniques to help manage myself along the way, which I'll talk about in a future post. The range of emotions experienced were sometimes very hard to deal with, especially given the numerous stressors that had been present in my life over the last 12 to 18 months or so. Births, deaths, financial difficulties, health and relationship, the list goes on and on. I actually had, we had 2 deaths on the same day, one on my partner's side of the family and one on my side of the family. And that was literally, that was a year and a bit ago. Yeah, and that was months after the birth of my son. So the birth of my son is obviously a positive stress, if you want to call it a stress, but it's a dramatic event. And then months later, 2 deaths in the same day within 2 families, and this really made it difficult. So this is why the grind works, because if you stay within if you don't have any huge outliers to the downside, and you just grind back and forth, eventually you'll meet all your goals. That's the message here. Give up control, go for the grind. I also met internal resistance when I reached the $1,000 mark, and then when the finish line was in sight. And that's it really. So that's that post. So the main takeaway for me to remind myself and keep on track in this combine, which I'm doing fairly well currently, is look long term. Hopefully it's not going to take 57 days this time, but I'd rather it take 57 than never happen. But currently I'm on target for a lot shorter of a time, but we all know that can change very quickly. And stay with the grind and give up control. So we see a recurring theme, you know, in the sense that the posts are saying similar things. So that's that. And today I wanted to talk about briefly what I did. I'm looking at 6A, 6B, 6C, and YM. Strangely enough, all my trades in this combine, even though I'm looking at these four, actually I only started looking at 6A again today to do exactly what I was doing in the combine that I passed last year. But even given the fact that I've been looking at 6B, 6C, and YM for the last 4 trading days, I've only taken 10 trades across 6C and YM. And so today went like this. Nighttime trading again, albeit not too late this time. Took the trade just after midnight. Stopped here for 0.8 R this time. So shall we write it down? Let's see if this opens. Yeah, 0.8 down there. And then over here, which we'll move there in a second, this was 1.5 up. I'm gonna have to delete it because I have to move this screen. So yeah, if you go over here, this is 6C by the way, and then could have got caught here. Today was a day where I could have lost a good bit of money, but I was patient. I did see reason to short 83.5 here, but I knew that, you know, and this is what's difficult about this method. There is some feel. You do have to wait for the momentum or price action to sort of roll over, and then this is when it happened. I got the second signal at a point that I felt was wholesale enough, shorted 94 with a 5-tick stop, got to within 1.5 ticks of my stop, which was right here where I have the crosshair, rolled over. And what was really tough about today was this range here. You know, we bounded back and forth. This is almost, it's from 5:30 to 8:15, so very nearly 3 hours of back and forth, you know, up an R, break even, up an R, 1.1, I think that was somewhere around there, break even, 1.15, break even, negative, and then it went. My actual target was a few ticks, half ticks off that low at 81, 0.7481, and I ended up getting out at 86.5. So I left, what's that? I left 5.5, 1.1 on the table. That's what I didn't get. And what I did get was 1.5 R. If I had waited 10 more minutes, I got out here, so 1, 2, 15 more minutes, waited 3 hours for 1.5, 15 more minutes would have given me 2.6. But of course we can't get it right all the time. The risk to reward was good enough for me to get out there. I did see what Dave would refer to, I think, as stopping volume. Wyckoff stopping volume, I just call it exhaustion volume. This, or a tree, is what I refer to it as. A volume bar which is 200% or more of the prior X bars to the left. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, and you average the 4 or 5 bars to the left, you can see this is at least 2 times that. So that's an indication of some form of exhaustion, or at least a pause, which is what happened here. We had a 1 bar pause, 2 bar pause, and then it carried on and did a second wave before consolidating down here. So my target would have been here at 81, got out 86.5, and that was it. Fourth positive day in a row, which I haven't had in a good while, so I must be doing something right, either that or I'm lucky. But may the luck or skill continue, and we'll see how it goes. One more day before London, and then a nice long break. I don't think I'll be trading in London, so it will be a week's break, and then I'll be back at it next week. So we'll probably catch you in a video tomorrow, and until then, take care, and remember to follow your rules and stick to your plan. See you next time.
Fingers.